Hi, my name is Shandor Collins, and I'm the owner of Gamebreakerz here in Auburn, Washington. And I'm going to put together a short video today to talk about what we do when we do our disc repair services here at our store. So many of you guys have Xbox 360 consoles, and most of them are either probably sitting in the vertical position. This one I have in the horizontal position just for the purposes of this video. And for some odd reason, either you got mad playing Call of Duty, or you got upset about something, or maybe the dog tripped over the cord, or your kids ran by and punched something and knocked the console over. We've heard just about every single possible reason why, but for some odd reason the console got bumped while there was a game in it and the game was in motion. So what happens is it creates what's called a perfect circle, or some of you guys refer to it as the ring of death on the Xbox 360 disc. So this particular game, I actually went ahead and bumped the console while I was moving, so I could create that circle. So as you can see, you probably can't see it because it's really small, but it said unrecognized disc. And that's the reason is that because the disc, if you can see that, has a very, very tiny ring that goes all the way around the outer edge, and it's in a shape of a perfect circle. Now sometimes you'll get those in the center part of the disc, which is probably like right in here, but you'll get those circles on the disc, and then of course the disc won't read. So what you need to do, don't grab a disc doctor, because those things don't really work, and the reason why is because they cannot turn the disc fast enough to be able to get the scratches that it actually will create off the disc in order to make the Xbox read it. So don't waste your money on those. We charge $5 per disc, which is a reasonable fee considering most games are about like $60 on average to resurface a disc, and we can actually fix these. So I'm going to show you what we do. It's a 4-step process. So first step is I'm actually going to run a sandpaper wheel and grind the circle out of the disc. Now you're going to have to see my back, unfortunately, for this, because I can't make the camera reach me because I'm a little tall. So we're going to put the disc in the machine, and for the purposes of this video, no, we're not going to tell you what disc machine we use or anything like that. Obviously we want to get paid for what we do. So we're going to grind that circle out of the disc. Now this process takes about 10 seconds. We actually have to do it twice. So first step we're going to do is we're going to grind the circle out of the disc. And as you can see, it looks all scuffed right now because we've actually taken a little bit of that surface layer off of the actual CD. And you'll see what it looks like when we get done. Trust me, it'll look a lot better. So after we do that step, we're going to grind a little bit more off, but this one we're going to use a little bit finer sandpaper to make sure that we kind of get the we get it down to where we can actually do a polish on it, which will of course make the disc look brand new. So now we're done with that second stage of sanding. And I'll show you the disc again. So you can see it's still scuffed. You can't really see it. It doesn't have that mirror finish. It has kind of a haze on it. If you were able to see really closely, it would have some swirl marks all through the disc, and you'd be like, "What the heck?" But we're gonna fix that. So now we're gonna polish this, and I've already kind of prepared my polish wheels ahead of time, for the sake of the video. But we're gonna prepare our first stage of polish, which is actually going to take the scuffs out of the disc before we actually do a final polish and give it that mirror shine that you guys are all used to. So this process takes about 60 seconds. So we're going to have to sit here through this. I would sing, but I can't sing. I'm not a singer. But we'll show you what the finished product actually looks like once we get the polish on it. And the reason why I'm doing this whole entire step is so you can't say, well, they switched the disc with the disc that works. No, this is the same disc throughout the entire process. So I've been showing it to you throughout this entire process that we do. And then there's one more step after this, and then it should be back to normal and ready to play. So after I do this phase, which is the first polish phase that's on the disc, then I'm going to clean the disc off. We use a really fine soft cloth to basically take the solution off of the disc itself. So we're going to take that out, and I'll show you what that looks like. So you can see we got a little bit of polish on it, you can see a little bit of shine on there, but there's still a lot of residue left over from the actual cleaning stuff that we use. So I'm going to wipe that off. Want to make sure we get it all cleaned off before we start the final phase. And now if you look at our disc has that mirror finish on it now, which is what you're used to when you actually see the disc. So now I'm going to throw it back in the machine again. And again, I've prepared the buffing pad. So now we're going to put this in here. It goes for another 60 seconds. So when this step gets done, then the disc is actually going to be ready to go. I'm going to wipe it off again one more time to give it a really, really brilliant mirror finish off the disc. And then we're going to throw it back into our Xbox console and see what happens. So again, like I said, this is a 4-step process. Sometimes depending on how bad the scratch is on the disc, we don't normally have to do 4 steps. But for those really, really deep scratches and really deep circle scratches, then yeah, it's a 4-step process in order for us to get to this point. And the reason is we obviously want you to have your disc back and working for the services that you're paying for. We want to make sure everything works before you take it home. Now, unfortunately, we don't test these discs for our customers right after we buff the disc out. But we do give you guys 2 business days once we buff the disc out to a final finish to take it home and try it out and make sure it works. That's just in case, you know, our Xbox console is being unruly here at the store and decides to eat your Call of Duty disc. We don't want to pay for another Call of Duty disc. So now we're done with the final step of that, and I'll show you what our disc looks like. Alright, so now we got the disc done, and if you look at that, it's brand spanking new. So you can actually see the reflection of every piece of my workbench back here in the back. Now we're going to put it in our Xbox console, and hopefully if I've done this correct, you should now see the Xbox fire up, and you should actually see it fire up that game. And the screen is blanked out, and hopefully we get that game. This game I used Indiana Jones just for the sake of the video. We don't want to use like Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto or something like that. But now you can see our disc is perfectly functioning and it's playable. So if you have any disc at home, like I said, the service that we charge is $5 per disc. We usually do this while you wait, unless you have about 3 or 4 discs. Sometimes we may make you wait for a few minutes or bring them, come back and pick them up, because it takes a little bit longer, obviously, when we do 3 or 4 discs in the middle of other things that we have going on here at the store. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and hopefully I'll be back with some other educational videos here in the future. Thank you.